And welcome back. It's time for this week's Capitol Report with Pat McGuigan of CapitolBeatOK.com. Pat, I know that you and, of course, many others are concerned about the steps the Obama administration is taking with Iran. You believe these will hurt Israel, and you say that your worries are broader than our president's. Share your thoughts.
I respect the motivation to seek peace, which the president and his people have been doing a good job of citing Ronald Reagan and the old line about the Russians, to trust but verify. And merely saying those words is not quite the same from where I sit as verifying. I'm waiting for the government of Iran to announce its stated ambition to destroy, that is the word, destroy the state of Israel. I'm waiting for the current regime in the country of Iran to renounce Rafsanjani's stated ambition to wipe the Zionist state from the face of the earth. In an age where nuclear weapons are so fearful, and Iran is on its way to getting one, has been on its way to getting one, I understand the president's motivation and his passionate desire to avoid them getting weapons, and yet I also understand that this is not a game, the big game it used to be called, concerning Afghanistan, Iran, and Iraq, and that whole region. This is a very real situation, and the problem is some of the players have nuclear weapons. When Benjamin Netanyahu says that the survival of Israel is at stake, I believe him. I take him at his word. And so I'm looking for some things even before whether or not we have inspections. There's a reduction in the number of centrifuges. These are all technical terms people can look up and get a good understanding of. In the long run, I would hope that it works, but I'm very concerned that it won't. You know, Winston Churchill said during the Second World War that he would make an alliance with the devil in order to defeat Hitler, and then he did so.
Yeah. And
we joined in, and that was the alliance, of course, with Josef Stalin, the communist dictator of the Soviet Union. And we defeated Hitler, and then we had 40 years of Cold War.
And you see a parallel.
I see a parallel, and in this case, there was 10 years, roughly, it took for Russia to have a reliable nuclear weapon after the Second World War ended, and that allowed us to gain an advantage in the region and around the world. I don't know that we have 5 to 10 years, and I don't know that we know everything about what's going on in those research facilities in Iran.
Sure, we'll have the chance to talk about this more. All right, you've credited State House Minority Leader Scott Inman with the Insight of the Week. What was that?
Well, there was a couple, actually. You know, I don't think it's any secret that Representative Inman and I don't always agree, but I think he has a future as a pundit, and I've told him that. This will be our last point because we're going to run out of time. But he said this is the most uneventful legislative session in his 9 years at the Capitol. I can't disagree with that. We'd likely disagree on ways to make it more interesting and substantive. But how to give it a good grade? Well, you know, they're not right-sizing government, which the conservative wants, and they're not taking care of the issue of the Indian Museum, for example, which civic leaders want. And he made the remark there that if it's not dead, the Indian Museum, it's on life support. So he's pretty good at quips, and I think both of those quips were accurate for this session so far.
All right, well, you can read more about these topics and others at CapitolBeatOK.com. For Pat McGuigan, I'm Alex Cameron. Have a great day.